You don't remember what happened?
Well, I would like to know, guys, if you are really excited for this show as I am.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. It's really it's a crazy feeling to have this baby that, you know, we like worked on for so long to finally be out in the world. And I love to see people resonating with it. It's very gratifying.
Yeah, a lot of blood, sweat, and queers went into this, so it feels very, very joyous to have it out in the world.
And did you watch the show back then? Did you revisit it for the roles, or did you have a connection with the story before?
I hadn't watched the show until I was cast, and I was 1 year old when the show originally aired. So I wasn't the target demo, but I did go back and watch the entire British series, and I really enjoyed it. I'm a big fan of Russell T Davies and the way he builds characters and tells stories. So as soon as I had watched that, I was already so excited to be a part of it. But I was like, oh my gosh, not only am I going to be a part of this amazing show on its own, but it also has this incredible legacy of groundbreaking queer representation.
Any self-respecting closeted homosexual, I rented the US version of Queer as Folk from Blockbuster, and, you know, had my fun with it, in quotes. But there was no one that really looked like me on the show, which is obvious. It's not a drag. It was 1999. You know, queer disabled people hadn't really entered the chat, as they say. But it made it all the more meaningful to be a part of the reboot, because 12-year-old me would be fucking stoked.
As you said before, this show was groundbreaking because of the moment when it was made, and now everything has changed. So what has the new Queer as Folk that is going to make it revolutionary for today?
Well, we're seeing a multitude of trans and non-binary stories being told, and not only that, but it's actual trans and non-binary actors, you know, who are playing these roles, and that's something we've never seen before. I think in our cast we have 4 non-binary actors, and I can't think of a cast or a time in history when that's ever happened. So I mean, not only that, you know, this show touches on a lot of different facets of the queer community. Touched on before, not to the fault of the original show, but we're in a different time. It's 2022. Queerness has evolved, developed, and advanced, and vocabulary is available now. And I really appreciate the way that this show weaves all of these different characters together in such a natural way.
As you were saying, these are complex characters. That is something really important to find on television today. Besides representation, what each of you takes from your characters?
I'd already been on a journey of discovering and becoming comfortable with my gender queerness. It was cool to be in this mindset of such a young queer person who's so actualized at such a young age, and it was inspiring. You know, I wish I were more confident at 17, but it was fun to embody that character and get into that mindset, and it helped me become more comfortable with my own gender queerness.
It was really fun to play someone who was kind of a salty bitch, you know what I mean? On Special, I was kind of like naive and kind of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and Julian's definitely has harder edges, and underneath it all, obviously he's a vulnerable, like, you know, human, but it was really nice to play someone who was just really dry and sarcastic. And it was also really fun to watch the walls come down a little bit for him.
How do you think television has evolved in the past few years on a representation of LGBT?
Then that's where stories like Queer as Folk comes in, because it does address the harsh reality of trauma and danger that queer people experience. And I hope to see more of that, and I hope this paves the way for more explicit and authentic queer storytelling going forward.
What in the gay hell?
You know what that's called? Healing.
You belong right in this moment.